Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back, Arizona Unplugged channel. I'm taking a little walk. We just got back from a hike, actually, and I'll take you guys over to kind of put a done stamp on this project. I want to show you guys. It is pretty cold out today. It's supposed to rain tomorrow and the next day, and boy, we're really praying for that, guys. We are down to probably maybe 1,700 gallons of water. So if we get rain like they say we're going to get, it's going to be pretty substantial. So we're really looking forward to that. Right now it's probably about 40 degrees out, and there go the dogs. So finally going to put a period at the end of this project, at least for this year. Yeah, we're talking about firewood again, I know. So the kids have been here, the teenagers have been here for the last almost 2 weeks, and they've been instrumental in the help of getting all this wood that I've cut around the cabin and the shop and the structures here and processed into, pieces that'll fit in my wood stove. This is the firewood for next year, and there's plenty here for at least 2 years. Maybe even more. I would, if I had to assume, and you guys can't really appreciate the entire scale here. This is as tall as me. This is about 6 feet tall right here. It's probably about 30 feet long and about 15 or 20 feet wide. So there's a lot of wood here, guys. This will all be split and stacked this spring and summer. Let it dry out for a bit. Until next winter where we'll start using this. This isn't all of it either. There's this big pile here that I still need to process, and then I've got some bigger logs that I need to get processed right here. And I'm sure out where I've been cutting there's a bit more, but as far as this season's land clearing and firewood processing, we're done with it finally. It's been months and we're finally done with it now. So we're moving on to other projects. So here is the existing. This was that 3 cords that we originally purchased. There's probably about a cord and a quarter left. So this will be burnt up this season, I'm sure. I got quite a bit up at the cabin already. So we're doing really well on firewood, and that's really a priority living out here in a place like this. If you don't have firewood, you freeze. And it does get cold. It's still below freezing at nights. So firewood is imperative. So it's a good thing that we have all these trees, surrounded by forest here at the homestead. By the way, if you're new here, my name is Vaughn. My wife, myself, and our kids, we live out here full-time, off-grid, homesteading in northern Arizona on almost 50 acres. And our storage shed, that's my trailer that basically we just put tarps over, and we're storing stuff in there to get it out of the shop so we can start working on that as well. So next projects, the next one is going to be, we need to rent a wood chipper and get it out here, since I found out that juniper is not good to use for mulch for plants for your garden. I've got piles of branches like this all over around the cabin here, around the shop, that I need to chip up, and we'll have it tilled in. The second project is getting a mini excavator out here to remove these stumps and to do some landscaping, some terracing. Here's one of the stumps here. There's just stumps everywhere from all the trees I've been cutting. So step 1, chip all these branches. Step 2, get the stumps out and do some leveling, primarily in the garden area. We want to start building our garden boxes for this spring. Hopefully we get some plants in the ground and start growing this coming spring. But there's just so much work to be done. I've been recently, since money is a little bit tight, I've been recently getting a lot of small odds and ends done. Some finished carpentry. We finished the downstairs bar. It turned out very nice. Unfortunately, this month I'm not drinking anything. We're taking a no alcohol February. So it's just one of those things, you know, just give the system a break. But the bar is done. What else have we done? I'm currently working on some more wooden projects. There's a little door upstairs that goes to a closet that I need to build. The wife is actually bringing home those materials today. And some minor things, some door trim in the bathroom, needed some door molding. A bunch of little things that we can afford to do right now. Like I said, money's been tight this month. There hasn't been much work on my end. Hopefully that'll change soon, but you know, that's one of the things you got to take in consideration when you move off grid, when you kind of semi-retire. You really got to think about expenses, things that you have to pay for and things that can be put off. So right now, the big expenses that we need to be paid for that isn't going to happen anytime really soon is renting the wood chipper and renting the mini excavator. Both of those combined would be about $2,500 that we don't currently have, so we just got to do a whole bunch of little projects. I also put up another security camera is one of the other things I just got done. One of the security cameras I purchased quite a while ago and just never installed. I finally installed it yesterday. I got the internet situated for the shop. So when we leave the house and we're more over here to the shop area, we still have cell service and internet service. So some changes here to the channel. First and foremost, we broke our 1,000 subscriber level. We finally broke that 1,000 mark. It's kind of a milestone for the channel. We're hoping to get monetized soon. I think you also need to have 4,000 hours of videos watched within a 12-month period, and I don't think we have that yet. So if you guys would, those of you who are watching this, it really helps with the algorithms and with the YouTube, you know, things to, you know, if you're going off to the store or out to eat or whatever, put this channel on a continuous play, and that'll start racking up some hours as far as watched hours. You know, do a mixed Arizona Unplugged channel watching session. You don't even have to watch it, just turn it on and leave. that'll build up the hours watched, I think, pretty quickly. So that's one thing. As soon as we get meet the requirements that YouTube has for becoming monetized, I know it's not going to be much money, but I mean, any little thing helps, right? Also on the YouTube channel, I did put an Amazon wish list. I'm not sure if I did it right. Go check it out. It's under the description. There's I think it's a link. I'm not really good with computers, guys. I'm not really good with, you know, stuff like that. So check it out. It just says like Amazon wish list or something. I don't know if you have to highlight it and copy it and put it in your browser to see it or whatever. Again, I'm not real good on this. If you guys can help me out and tell me how to make that an actual clickable link, that would be great, because I don't know how to do that. And the things that are on our wish list are things to kind of improve not only this channel, but also things that we kind of desperately need here at the homestead, as far as to get us going even further and faster than what we've been doing now. I do feel a little bit weird putting stuff like that on there, because this channel is definitely not put up here to beg for gifts or money or anything like that. But you know, if we can progress a little bit, I think it'll benefit everyone that enjoys this content, you know, especially with the camera and the editing program that's on there. it'll make this channel better, and that will kind of help everybody, I think, because we're here to learn off of each other. Here, if this is the type of content you like, homesteading and living off-grid, I want to make this channel into something special that we can all kind of build together, you know. So that's about it. It is a cool, very cool, crisp, breezy day. Like I said, we just got back from hiking. One of my daughters actually went out this morning and found a bunch of old tin cans that are definitely really old, and also this big, looks like a 2 or 3 gallon metal box that has this really cool valve on it. So on one of these upcoming videos, I'm going to go over all that stuff, and maybe you guys can help me determine what these things are or what they might have been used for. It's really cool to find stuff like that around here. We actually, when we went on our hike, I took a metal detector. Didn't find anything, but it was kind of fun to do some metal detecting, like around the creeks here, the dry creek beds, and that type of thing. So anyways, if you guys like this type of content, you know, off-grid life, living and working on a homestead full-time, we're going on our 8th month now. I believe March 2nd will be 8 months, so coming up here in a couple weeks, and we're really loving it, guys. We have dealt with a little bit of illness in the last couple weeks, you know, with the boy getting some germs at school and then bringing it at home. I feel fine, I feel great, but the wife got it. A couple of the teenagers that I have here with me these couple weeks, they got it and are still dealing with it. My wife took little William to the doctor today. Come to find out he has an ear infection. So we got some antibiotics for that, and he's still running around playing, so it's not really affecting him too much, but we want to keep an eye on it. You know, any kind of illness or infection is a serious thing, and we want to make sure he's healthy and happy. So he went to see the doctor today, and they got him all fixed up. Anyways, guys, if you're new here, please consider subscribing. Do that thumb up thing. Apparently it helps build the channel. I'm standing out here. This is another thing we're going to be doing. Once we get the mini excavator out here, I have straps for this chicken coop and for that chicken coop. These are too heavy for me to move. If I had 4 guys and maybe a couple of long poles to put under here, we might be able to move these around, but I know I need a tractor out here anyways. I'm just going to lift it with the tractor and put it right where it's got to be, probably about maybe 50 yards from here. This chicken coop has never been used. I built this years and years ago in my garage thinking we were going to have chickens, and we didn't. And then I brought it out here and stored it. And then we finally moved to our last, the 20-acre horse ranch at East County, San Diego. And I built that chicken coop. And we did use that. We had 6 or 7 hens in there and gave us some good eggs. And a really cool thing is, one of the kids, little William goes to school with, we're friends with his parents, and they had us over to their house the other day to watch the Super Bowl, and they offered to give us as many chicks as we want, because they have chickens, quite a bit of chickens, and they have an incubator, so they can hatch as many chickens as we can fill up our little homestead with. So we're really excited about that. And if you're watching this, Daniel, we appreciate your offer, and we'll definitely hit you up when we're set up here with our chicken coops and fence and gates and all that. So that's going to be really cool. Just top shelf people, really nice people. We've been meeting quite a few really awesome, interesting, fun people out here. The people here in northern Arizona, they're built different than Southern Californians. There's no doubt about that. And we appreciate them, and we really love creating these relationships with the folks around us. So I think it's a necessity. It's something that people that live like this they have a common theme in their lives. People like us, we like to have our privacy, have plenty of open space around us, and on a daily basis have to prove to ourselves that we're self-reliant, that we could take care of ourselves, that we don't need the government to give us handouts. We don't need, services around us to keep our lives going, that we can kind of handle things on our own. That's, I think, the whole spirit of being self-sufficient. And I think that's one of the reasons why myself and my family and families like ours love being out in places like this. It seems like this is the way God intended us to live, I think, to be less reliant on someone else and more reliant on ourselves. I think it's important. I think it builds character, it builds strength, intellectually and physically. I haven't been in this good a shape in a long time. I attribute a lot of that to my diet. Speaking of that, if you guys are interested, especially if you're diabetic, pre-diabetic, type 1 or type 2, what have you, if you guys have questions, if that is your medical situation, and if you want to beat it, and if you want any details on what I'm doing, I just found out a couple weeks ago, since we just moved out here, I finally got around to getting my health insurance transferred over here to Arizona from California. I saw the doctor. He did a blood test right there on the spot, by the way, which was weird. And come to find out, because of this diet, I have beat my diabetes illness. I am no longer diabetic. I no longer have to take metformin. I attribute it all to my diet. I'm doing the keto diet. I have been for about 9 months. So 9 months of keto diet has cured my 7 or 8 year long battle with type 2 diabetes. I can't say it more bluntly than that. That specific diet, it worked for me so much to the point where I'm about 50 pounds lighter and no longer diabetic. I feel better than I have in the last 20 years. And I'm sure living out here in the clean air, up in higher elevation, doing a lot of work, physical work. You can see all these logs I got right here. These are poles that we're gonna skin and use for construction projects. All these things together, I think, has attributed to my new diabetes-free life. So, health and wellness is a huge part of living off grid. If you're planning on making a move like this, living off grid, and you're in poor physical shape, I think it'll be probably detrimental. I mean, we don't have any doctors nearby. There's no ambulance coming out here. If I was to go into some sort of diabetic coma or have any kind of seizures or anything like that, it's kind of a done deal at that point, being so far out. So being healthy is a very, very important aspect of moving off grid. Unless you have someone there to take care of you or help you, be very careful. It's a life-changing decision that could be detrimental if you're not physically fit enough to do it. So I think the wind is coming. We may be getting snow also. I'm hoping for rain. Snow is okay, and we got probably about 400 or 500 gallons of drinkable water after the last 2-day snowstorm. But I want rain. Rain is 100% water, whereas snow, I believe, is 10% water and 90% air. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But yeah, many aspects, many decisions that need to be honestly made if you're planning on moving out off grid, like we have. Thankfully, my wife is kind of the epitome of health. She works out almost every day. She eats well, and she's just, fit as a fiddle. This area here, when I cut this old half-dead juniper, I cut it with platforms like this because I'm going to enclose this area with a fence, and this is where my goats are going to go. And goats love to jump and climb on things. It actually helps with their muscle, to keep their muscles built up, but it also keeps their hooves worn down a little bit, so you don't have to trim them as often. Stacking a big pile of boulders is also a good thing to do if you're considering goats.